Hello, this is Peg with Craft Room Stories, and I spoke briefly on a previous video that I had these stamps. I had been given a lot of stamps from Sierra at Cooley Craft Corner, and I had been given some from a friend in a Happy Mail from England, and so I have quite a few stamps, and I thought, let's just come up with some ways to use them. Now, I went on a deep dive through YouTube looking at other people's channels and found a lot of different ideas, and I'm not doing anything exactly like what I saw, but they gave me ideas to do stuff with. So I'm going to tell you the list, and then we're going to make some stuff, okay? So decorative edge strips I saw, dangles, page tabs, master boards. Make a big master board with different papers, and your decoration is stamps, which I thought was cool. Framed art, slides, paper clips, and making faux mail. So I've got a few things here. I even have 2 stamps that are from a printed kit. They are not actual stamps, and I thought, if they are in several different kits, so I thought it would be fun to show how to do those. Also, I left one of them with its paper bits on here to show you. I saw this trick from Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah, who saw it from somebody else. But thinning shears make excellent little perforated bits to go around your stamp. And then I go and trim them off a little bit because sometimes they are left with little long pieces. But anyway, you've got your perforated looking, where's my scissors, my regular scissors? Oh, they're hiding. Okay, so then I take and just kind of trim these little pieces off. I don't know if you see that, long pieces on there. And I just trim those off. And that gives us perfect little stamp looking thing. And of course this is a stamp, but I wanted to get the other pieces out. So I have taken a piece of, okay, so let me just start at the beginning then. Okay, so somebody had gifted me these black tags, and I want to say I remember everybody who gave them to me, things to me, but I don't, and so forgive me if I don't say your name, but I showed it at the beginning when I got it. And so I put some acetate, I glued some acetate on it, and I thought we would take and make a tag slide by putting that together. And I have 2 butterfly stamps that are pretty much the same size, and I'm going to just trim off the little extra bits, and I'm going to glue those back to back and then put them in the slide like it's a real butterfly slide. And I thought that was kind of a neat idea. And some people would just leave the extra paper that comes on these from the envelopes on them, and some of them I have, not on any that I'm working with today, but some of them I have. So anyway, from the square that I took out of here, I then had a square here. I cut out another square of the inside of it and then put little corners on it and made a frame, painted it gold. And then I thought I had this one stamp with what I think is the Queen of England. Well, former Queen of England, but Queen Elizabeth. And so then I thought that we could come and put her right in the middle of that, and then she could be glued right down to the page. Now, what I did not do was cut another piece of acetate, which I am going to do real quick. So this is basically, I say acetate, I don't know if it is acetate, it's transparency film. And so we're just going to kind of use this as a rough guide to cut a little square, and then we can cut it smaller if we need to. And I just keep, that box of transparencies was pretty cheap, and I just keep it on hand. So let's see if that will fit on here, if we need to trim it slightly more. I don't know if you can see on here because it's so clear, you know, you can't really see very well. Well, I need to trim it a little bit further. Let me just kind of square it up. Now let's see if that'll fit on here. I don't know if you can see that at all. A little bit maybe. Okay, so we're going to glue that on there. And then we're going to make a portrait with that Queen Elizabeth stamp. I'm going to glue a little bit around the edge of the frame, and then I'm going to smear it out a little bit, so hopefully we don't get glue on the acetate. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I know I keep going off screen. So, oop, almost turned it upside down. It's getting stuck to me. Okay. All right. So then I smash it down really good. All right. And I don't know if you can see the little glare there. So you can see that that's there. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put glue all over this and kind of smear it in so that hopefully it's not, once it dries, I mean at first you'll see the glue, but hopefully once it dries you will not see the glue. I'm really bad about going off frame when I'm working here. Okay, let's see. It's not perfectly centered. Let's see. But it's pretty close. I'm just going to smash it in really good that hopefully it will make that glue not be seen. It's pretty close. I don't know if you can see that. Whoa, off the screen. Okay, so there's one, and then all you would do is literally just glue this to a page around the frame and not obviously on the, so we're going to put that aside for now. That's one idea. Okay, and then let's just go ahead and do this one since we're working with the acetate. I'm going to take the art glitter glue and glue these two pieces together since that's just paper to paper. And this had some writing on the back, but there was no way I could use both the stamp and the writing, so I just chose the stamp. You want to make sure they're both facing up, because that would be weird. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did. Now I'm going to put the thing back on the art glitter glue because, whoop, that stuff gets clogged up so quickly if you don't keep a pin in it. So there we go. All right, so let me just trim the edge of this real quick and make sure it's not too much. Okay, then I'm going to put some glue. I realized I'd stop talking. Okay, put some glue all over this so that hopefully it sets exactly right. My head might be in the way, I don't know, but now I got a little bit of glue on this acetate stuff, so I'm gonna it's gonna have a little bit of a, it messes with plastic quite quickly. It's a little bit, I don't know that I can get that off of there. Well, it's okay with me, or is that on the other side? It's on the other side. That's funny. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit on this side. So I might have got a little bit too much glue. I don't know if, whoop. Okay, let me do the other side then. And then we'll glue those two pieces together and see, and we will have made then a kind of slide tag. Okay. Trying to line it up perfectly. Mash it down good. Trying not to use the fingers that have glue on them. Okay. Now, what I did was I glued that together before I glued the edge of this. That's okay. Whoop! Okay, I'm just going to go around the edge. Pull that apart a little bit. And go around the edge here. And glue it. Trying to be careful not get too much so that it spills over onto the plastic, acetate, whatever it is made out of. Okay. Oh, I got a little bit on there, y'all. That's okay. I'm going to smash it in, and it's just going to be like, I mean, this is the first time I've done this. I've not made, and I am making a complete and utter mess. I'm on some sort of roll, y'all. Okay, so do as I say, don't do as I do. This is a way not to craft, just so you know. This is the mishaps that happen, and that is totally messing up that slide. But you know what? I don't care. I would use it anyway. You can always stick a butterfly or a piece of lace or something. I said butterfly. That is butterflies. Flower is really what I meant to say. Over anything that you kind of mess up a little bit. And you can disguise mishaps. It is very easy to disguise. So I'm just using this little eraser thing that I got at the Dollar Tree. It's really great for erasing glue. And I'm getting all the glue off the edges. Because this is going to be a tag that you can either hang, you know, somewhere to where it hangs free, or just stick in a pocket as something fun. All right. And I know you're like, goodness, I know. I am a clumsy woman. And there we go. Okay. Well, it just keeps seeping out. I just got far too much glue. So I would say glue one whole side together first before you all try to glue it together. Oh, instead of just the stamped part. Probably some of you were shouting at me, no, glue the whole thing. That's okay. All right, here we go. All right, so there's little bits of stuff. I'll have to wipe it off when my hands are not as messy. So I'm going to try to show you. That's the one side, and that's the other. Kind of fun. All right, so that's another way that you can use a stamp or stamps. Let me put that aside. Okay, and now I have quite the mess here. Whew, y'all. Okay. I have a whole bunch of postcards. Okay, before I go to the postcard one though, I have this one last piece. This, I thought we could make kind of a chipboard dangle with this piece. And so I just got this cute owl stamp, and I thought that would make a cute little dangle. Now, probably you should have something on the other side, but, ooh, y'all, I'm out of control. It doesn't necessarily have to be a stamp. I didn't find one that was this size without spending just hours looking through all the stamps. So I'm just gonna put this on one side. And And then you can put like a flower on the other side or some, you know, gem or something like that to, you know, so that when you make the dangle. Now what I'll do is I'll take then and cover this with Glossy Accents, which is a clear dimensional medium, and it will set that nice and hard and stiff, and I'll do that before I punch a hole in it. And then I may figure out something to go on the back of that as well. And then that's going to be a cute little dangle. Just, you know, it's not going to be as firm as a chipboard, but once this stuff dries, it's pretty hard. So I recommend, I got that off Amazon. So there's 3 ways. We're just rushing through this, I say. Okay. Now, I have a bunch of postcards that my sister got at some kind of thrift store or antique store. And I'm not going to cover up this little log cabin. This is a historic picture of Crabtree Homestead House down somewhere near southern Tennessee somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, I think, or Georgia. Cumberland, that may be Georgia. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I've gone off. This is slightly a little dirty right here. I'm going to see if that'll come off. If it doesn't matter, because that is really, you know, made it look vintage. So what I think that I will do with this, now where did the, oh, I was going to make faux mail. So this is not actual mail. So I thought I'd take one of these faux stamps, and I want to make it look a little bit more aged than it is. So, because it's going on this aged thing. And I had got a different stamp out of my stamps that was like 1 cent, and I don't know what I did with it. I was going to put that on here. I don't know. Anyway, I've changed my mind, I guess. So, we're just going to get that and glue that on here. And then I have some postage stamp things that are rubber stamps or silicone stamps or whatever that you can put over a stamp to make it look like it's already been mailed. So that is what we're going to do with this. So we've put that there. Okay, and I've already lost the pin. It could be clinging to me somewhere. Oh, it is. Look at that, y'all. It was stuck. Oh my goodness, I am just like a manic crafter today. All right, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. We're gonna get it. Okay, so then we are going to, I've got my stays on. I like it because this has a little bit of a sheen to it, and a regular stamp might smear and stuff, but the stays on does not smear. So, especially if you let it dry for a few seconds beforehand. So I've got this little thing of postage stamp stuff, and I'm gonna look and see. I think I'll just put this little, maybe I'll just do this little circle here. Ooh, and this little squirrely thing here. Okay. So we'll just, let me see which is the right way up. I think it's that way. All right, and it's okay to me if it's not like a perfect stamp, because I've never seen an actual mail stamp look perfect. No, it is supposed to be that way. Okay, so we're gonna do this here. There, I like that. And then we'll do this little squirrely bit over the stamp. There, I like it. And So then, oh, I'm putting that away and I don't want to. Okay, so then I also have like a thing that I don't have anything, I don't think, that looks like an address. I don't guess. I have one that looks like you've covered up the address. That could be interesting. But I have one that looks like, you know, like you've written the letter. So we're just going to do that, a little bit of that. It won't necessarily be readable, but we're just going to put that right there. And it's okay to me that it doesn't really show all the way. Let's see. We could put this like we've covered up the address. So you know, like if it was an important war thing, I don't know. There, like it's redacted. So we've just made some faux mail. I kind of like it. It's fun. So that's one way that you can use stamps, and especially those stamps that come with kits that you might buy and stuff and you don't really know what to do with them. Okay, one other thing. I've got this letter from Sierra from Cooley Craft Corner. She said, I mean letter, it's an envelope. And I thought we could make another just kind of faux piece of ephemera, I mean mail, like you got this letter in the mail. And these stamps already have the little squirrely things, but I thought I would come along and do another one of the circle things over the top of it. I mean, hopefully I'm not going too long, no idea. I feel like I'm going fast, but maybe not. I'm doing it upside down again. But sometimes I've seen they do it like sideways or whatever. So we've got that. And then, let's see. I've got another one that, let's see, it's got this like birds and flowers and stuff. I don't know. We'll just try it and see what it looks like. If we don't like it, you know, we don't have to do it again. We're just showing ways that you can use postage stamps. So we'll just pretend like that's the address. And then we've got this other stamp that we'll use as if it's the return address. It's not, of course, but we'll just pretend. There's no rhyme or reason. And there you go. Oh, that is not staying down. Okay. I think it was a piece of envelope that it was on. That's okay. Anyway, and then you could just stick anything in there, a card, whatever, even one of the postcards. That's fun. So there is another way to use stamps. And then, okay, I've got some music. We'll do the paperclip last. I've got, let me get this stamp stuff out of the way. Rubber stamp stuff. Okay, so I've got some sheet music and some book page, and I thought we would take the book page and use it to make a page tab. So let's just, we're gonna get, oh, I'm gonna need to cut it so that I'm a little bit closer to the edge because I want the whole thing to be book page. Or words, I should say. Okay. So I always do it upside down so I can kind of see what I'm getting. I want mostly words. Okay. So we're going to take that, and this is kind of a thin one. I don't know that I would normally do that, but we're just going to fold that right in half. And we're going to use the art glitter glue because it's paper to paper, and glue this down real quick. I do not have a whale tail or any page tab things. I can use my silhouette and make a bunch of them if I wanted to, but I thought I don't want to get the whole silhouette out, so I thought let's just come along and make a quick one ourselves. And I'm going to show you how to use some other punches if you do not have the whale tail things. So I'm just going to go in and cut a little corner off. Another little corner off, and there you go. I mean, I might just try and make that a little bit more even, but predominantly, there we go. Oh, you know what? I glued that together. Let's do this again. Wow. I know y'all were screaming at me like, don't glue that together yet. It's not on a page. Yep. And you would have been correct. So this whole video is going to be how not to craft. Don't do that. Okay, so to make this stronger, what I might go ahead and do is cut out 2 of these, and then that is going to be, I'll glue them together. That's going to make a little bit stronger because this is quite thinner paper than what I would want a page tab to be. So then we'll just glue these together, and the inside won't matter. And a good way, if you want to use, you know, one of these tabs and you want it to be even both times, you can just put a little mark with a pencil of where you want the tab to go, and then you'll have it the same every time. Okay, so let's try this again. We're going to fold that in half, and it's a little bit soggy because of the glue, but it dries quickly, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. And that's, you can choose which side you want. It's going to be upside down on one side, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to just go in here and do that. And go in here. I'm going to try to make it as even as possible. And do that. Okay, that's even enough. And then there's an actual page tab. Okay, so we're going to move that out of the way. And so then what I saw was that they took a stamp. Okay. Did I get out another? I think the stamp I got to do this, I already put back, but that's okay. We'll just get that out again. And I would probably want a stamp on both sides, but they do not have to be the same, I wouldn't say. So I'm just going to look for some that are a little bit smaller, and you might want them to complement each other a little bit color-wise, depending on, you know, how. That one's cool because it goes sideways. I wonder if that fits better. No, it's still kind of big. Will that one fit? I think that one will fit just. We might have to trim just around the edges. But I'm looking for another tiny one. Well, you know what? I do have 2. I thought I saw another one of those. Well, that's funny. We've got George Washington and Queen Elizabeth. Maybe if we do 2 presidents. or 2 of George Washington. There we go. We'll just do 2 George Washingtons. They're different colors, but they have a theme. Okay. So we will take and, I mean, this is not rocket science, but I thought it was a really neat idea. And they even showed it, I think, possibly sticking out a little further off the back. So let's see if we can match them up. On the back. This one has some weird little perforations. Maybe they did that before they started doing rubber stamps. No, it's got rubber stamp too. I don't know. But there you go. And so then that sticks out a little bit off the top. And you've got a fun little page tab right there. Very unique, I thought. Like that idea. Okay, now for a decorative edge strip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip some of this sheet music and you don't want it too long because, you know, the pages are only so long. At least mine are. I can't make a terribly long book. I don't have anything. Now I might go ahead and just tear down this side so that I can have torn edges on both sides. I like a torn edge. And I would probably go ahead and ink this, but I don't have to ink it before I do it. I can ink it before I go to use it. Okay, so basically what they did was they just put stamps at an angle, kind of all up the whole decorative edge strip. Now, I also saw one where they didn't have a backing like music paper. They just used the stamps. And I think in that case, you'd want to use stamps that have that paper still adhered to it. Like this one is pretty thick because it still has that paper on the back of it. And I think that would be, you'd need that if you were going to use that without the music paper or some other backing paper or lace or whatever you choose to do. So they just staggered it like this up and down the page, and I thought that was kind of a neat look. Wow, that one was a little hard to tell. And you could even still put lace on the, it's a 6-cent stamp, on the edge of this, and it would, you know, make it pretty and not just, you know, I like lace though. I've told you I have an addiction, so if I have something that doesn't have lace on it, I feel like it's not good. I feel like it has to have some lace. This one's an Oklahoma stamp. Fun. Now this is 50th anniversary of Oklahoma statehood. That's a 3-cent stamp, 1907. I remember when we were celebrating the 100th anniversary. And here's a Louisiana one of Oklahoma statehood. And I worked for the police department at the time. No, I did not. That would have been 2007. No, I worked for a different department. But anyway. So there we go. And they don't have to be all perfectly equal in distance or whatever. You're just doing a fun little, you know, kind of thing. And then again, you could put lace down the edge. I don't have a long piece with me right here, but see how pretty that would look? Fun. And there's your decorative edge strip. And then the last thing I saw was to make a paper clip. Now I'm going to bring that sheet music out here again. And I'm going to fold over a piece to make it stronger. Let's see, will that fit? Yeah. How did I see this once? No, this is what I saw. Hang on. Okay, so I saw somebody make some paper clips like this. They did this, and then they put the paper clip on like that, and then they folded. Is that right? Am I doing this right? Yes. And then they folded up the piece like that, and then folded the other piece to match. This was a kind of neat idea, although I think that might make the... It's not covering it completely. What am I doing wrong? That's okay. That was left, that piece was left to do a little dangle with. So let's see. Okay. Now the reason I left it that long is so I could see this. I had chosen to do this tall one, but I did not cut it tall. So we'll do this other one. This is the Homestead Act. It's another 4-cent stamp. Cutting the little edges off where I cut this down off the paper that it was backing to. But this being stronger, that's just completely fine. All right, so what you do then is you take... Okay, this is the top of it. Okay, so you glue the ends. Now, I usually prefer to use hot glue for this because I just feel like it holds quicker. I'll show you. I have my hot glue gun. I'm going to make sure that this is straight on there, and I'm going to poke it up just a hair so that we can put a dangle on that. Okay, and then I'm going to hot glue this. Oh, and that's pretty hot. Y'all, this is a mess. I probably shouldn't even load this one, but sometimes I think you need to see the mess. The mess that we work with. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on first so that I know where to cut the paper clip. Sometime I'll show you how best to make these paper clips. I'm trying to put this in the middle where it's actually measured and everything like that, and not just haphazard like I just did. Trying to hurry. Okay. So on the one side, you'll see the music paper, and on this side, you'll have the stamp. You could do the stamp on both sides or show the music paper around it, whatever. And then this just fits over the page like, if I can get a hold of it, like that. And then you can put a bulb pin right there and hang a little fun dangle on it. And that's a hidden paper clip right there. You can decorate up the other side, whatever you want to do. Hang some lace down below it or whatever and make it pretty. Okay, so let's get back out everything that we made. I've got these extra stamps we did not use. Let me put this pin on this art glitter glue first. Ooh, I hope this has not gone so incredibly long. Okay, so we have the decorative edge strip. We have the page tab. We have the portrait. No, that's not the portrait. That's the dangle. It's going to be a dangle. We have the portrait. We have the paper clip. We have the slide, faux mail, and more faux mail. The only thing I did not do that was on my list was the master board. I figured that would make it entirely too long. But anyway, here you go. Here's some ideas of things to use stamps for, and you can really just go to town with this. You could have like a whole junk journal full of stamps in different stamp things, stamp ephemera and everything. And I did see one person took their stamp masterboard, and one of the things that they did with that, besides, you know, that you could make tags and pockets and stuff with, they wrapped it around, and that was their junk journal cover. And they were making a kind of traveler's notebook, and it turned out really cute. But anyway, here you go. Thank you for staying, and thank you for playing. Hugs. Bye.